Afternoon. Clear my throat. Afternoon. How are you? Bit of a rush to get here. One of the kids is a little bit sick. Just a cold though. Nothing more serious than that. Let's see what's going on here. How are we, Lucy? How's it going? Sorry for keeping you all there. So you can hear me, obviously. Yes. Hi, Nick. Can you hear me? Everything okay out there, guys? Yes. Okay. Great stuff. How are we all this afternoon? Tell me how you're getting on. Love the hair this evening. I just put some gel in it. I think it's getting a bit long. Will I grow it for the lockdown and let it go mental, or will I shave it myself and take care of it? Hi, Michelle. How are you? Knocking out the great work. Things are a little bit unsteady here today. Just let me work with it as best I can. Yeah, great. Good to see you all. How are we all? Happy Sunday to everybody. Sam, how are you? How's it going? How are you all? Keeping an eye on the numbers again, loud and clear. Good to see you all. How's it going? This is, oh, hello. And an hour later, because the clocks have gone back in Ireland, so it's all a bit of a strange one. You know, I feel a bit disorientated actually. You know, it's all a bit of a strange one. I don't know. I think they changed the hours back in our country. I think it had something to do with the light in the morning for kids going to school. I'm not quite sure, but it seems a bit strange to change the time, doesn't it? I mean, it really suiting you. Do you think? Yeah. Do you think? I don't know. I don't know what to do. You know, like keep it shaven. Susie, how are you? Good to see you, babes. How are you? I brought my apron home. Look, I brought my apron home. I'll show you my apron, will I? Here's my apron. Look. Isn't she a thing of beauty, isn't she? She's never that clean in the salon, I can tell you. I have a selection of aprons. I have a selection of aprons like you wouldn't believe. How's things in Ireland? Things are really strange in Ireland because it's a different type of lockdown. In March, everything was locked down and everything was really quiet and there was nobody around. This one, manufacturing is still open. A lot of retail is still open. And I think some people have been gaming it. So like they've opened up as essential and they're not essential. I was out the other day, there was a lot of traffic. So, I mean, it's a bit of a strange one. But the numbers are going down. But I think that's because we went to level 3. Hi, Alison. How are you? Did you all enjoy seeing Headcase Salon from Dubai on the other day with Tracy and Sinead and it wasn't it just brilliant, and Danny, and wasn't it brilliant to see them all coming on? How am I coping? It's been I won't lie, it's been a difficult week. Probably good to explain the process to you that you kind of go through. You know, you're like super positive, super unrealistically positive that you're going to get through this and you're going to game it and you're going to do all this and you're going to do all that, and you're kind of. Did you enjoy the extra break? I woke up at 5. My kids were in this morning. It was a weird one. So yeah, get up. Do you love your apron? Yeah, we all have these aprons thanks to Susie in Geneva. You know, now there is a live tomorrow night with somebody, Sinead, who works at the advisory in UK, and she's going to deal with the most answered questions that are on advisory. So it's like to do with brassiness and it's to do with high lift tints and colour fresh masks. So it'll be a really interesting live on tomorrow evening if you wanna get through it. But yeah, back to how you sort of go through it. Like you sort of you kind of lie to yourself and you kind of say, well, I have all this covered and I know how to do all this and I'm okay and I'm fine. You went on the wrong live. That's okay, Sandy. I've done it myself. People have less faith in the lockdowns, and yeah, understand it. That it's you kind of have a very strange. You know, you're a little bit. It's a little bit. Yeah, you're a little bit sort of. You're kind of ignoring reality. You know, and then it sort of hits you. You know that. You know how you're going to cover the bills and how you're going to do this and how you're going to. And it hurts a little bit. And then you have a little bit of a time where you're sort of accepting the difference, but what they call the reality gap. What I believe and reality and the gap in between, you know. So I spent a little bit of time working on the, you know, and then I adapted, and then I sort of thought, well, you know, I can do this, I can do that, I can make that work, and the government will help me with this, and I can do that. So I started to come around, I suppose, about Friday or Saturday, but it did take me a little bit while. It did take me a little bit of while to get over the manic power of positive thinking. I can just get through this. which is obviously not good for your mental health because there is a balance. And then I sort of got through that and I came out the other side of it. And ask me next week. I do notice how much I live like quite driven when I'm working. Hiya Sarah, I do that. I'm quite driven when I'm working, and that I push myself, and that when I'm not working. Will you get much help from the government? Yes, well, we get a decent bit of help from the government. I mean, you can put in for grants, and you can put if you're down 20%, 30%, they'll give you a hand with the wages. You can put in for grants. There's a new one now that you can put in for whatever your turnover is down between this time and last year. We got an opening grant of like €1,500, but the desk costs €1,500 just to do it in. Just to separate it all out. So I mean the grant was like, wouldn't have even covered it. But I am keeping fine. I'm keeping very well. I'm keeping very well. You all seem to enjoy the class last week. You seem to enjoy how you doing, Sophie? You seem to enjoy the techniques and you seem to enjoy stuff. And I've seen people were reaching out to me this week and saying that they tried different things and that it was just amazing to be able to fit something in straight into your work. Yeah, it's a very strange one, certain types of, like, there's certain shoe shops open because they sell like essential shoe wear, which I just don't understand. And there's other stuff, but I can really only play my own game, and I'm closed, and I am able to sell retail online, and I am able to do to make some moves, and I'm able to do some stuff, so I can do click and collect and stuff like that. And I'm going to be getting my Colour Fresh masks this week, and I have a good few clients waiting on them. I will be selling them. I'll be reaching out to the clients. Now we are only closed for 6 weeks this time. How you doing, Sasho? How are you? Loads on already. Hi everybody, anybody newbies who are on, this is Sunday Service. It's a get together that we have, a co-creation. Are you going to give us a live demo? Not tonight, Sophie. I'm just going to go through a few little sections of how when you don't know how to do balayage, how to start off, how to the first thing to do behind the chair, and how to fit it into your column and that kind of stuff. But in the days ahead, I might, if I'm in the salon, we might be able to do a few moves with the dolly heads. Let's see. Let's just roll with it. We have to do every day. Hi Charlie, how are you? How are you doing? Miss Charlie Taylor on there, fantastic hairdresser from Scotland. Great to see you on, Charlie. How are you? And to see Candy Shaw on the page today, another person I really look up to. It's great to see you all. Don't be scared to talk among yourselves. We need to focus on building online consultations. I'm pretty good at this, Sasha. I tend to reach out. I send a text message to all the clients that have had colour done for over the last 6 months, and say, if you need any retail, reach out to me, or if there's something you need. But then you have to be available on the phone, and this is the thing. Some clients just, I reached out to a client, Claire, who lived on her own. And the last time I reached out, I rang her, and she was just dreadfully lonely. And she was just so lonely. Such a lovely lady. And I reached out to her, and we spoke on the phone for... Are you mad busy? We had a manic few days as well. We didn't really get the notification till Friday, I just saw Susie's text there. We didn't get the notification till Monday evening, 9 o'clock. So really we only had Tuesday and Wednesday, but the clients were amazing. They all bought retail. They all came in, got their hair done as best they can. Now it's a real difficulty, this one, because I don't know about you guys, but I was booked out for Christmas at the 20th of August. So my whole December was gone, the 20th of August. So I'm very limited to what I can do in November, for December with clients from October and November, because I was booked out. I was booked out in August. Do you know what I mean? So I really only have Sundays and Mondays to work with. And for my mental health, how much can I do behind the chair every day? It's just, so it's a decision I'll have to make. You know what I mean? I'm hoping. We died in September, Carol. We were mental in July, and then we died in August, and then we got busy. Our lockdown is for 6 weeks. It'll be reviewed after 4 weeks, but there is, I think we will be open, Karen. I really think we will be open. There is talk of a vaccine coming through in November. How effective it's going to be, nobody's quite sure. yeah, I reached out to Claire Elizabeth that time, and she came into the salon, and I'm actually going to ring her back, you know what I mean? So she was just dreadfully lonely. Careful, Andrew, don't forget about those kids. Yeah, no, I don't want to, for my mental health, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to do Sundays and Mondays in the salon. I really don't, you know what I mean? But I'll work it out. I'll work it out, you know. If I don't know if you've heard of this saying, but it's a really important saying, specifically for you self-employed people. Before we start in, if not you, then who? If not you, then who? You know, for very famous and very, really successful people, when you talk to them, they always have a team around them. Even though they look like they're on their own, they always have a team around them. So if not me, then who? So I will be trying to lay my clients off to people within the salon, you know, that can do my I think they will open us after the 4th. Yeah, I'd say so. If it's not you, then who? Because some, you know, particularly at this particular time, you know, I remember the famous story of Les Ferdinand calling in to see Ronaldo when he was just 21, 22 playing for United. And he called in to see this young kid from Portugal, and in his house he had a chef, he had a masseuse, he had a nutritionalist, he had a physio. He had all these people living with him, and yet Les Ferdinand was like, why are all these people here? And he says, well, I want to be the best in the world, and my weaknesses is my diet and my physiology and stuff. So he had a whole team around him to make him the best he could possibly be. And to do remember that in life, you know, if you just base things on you being able to do them, well, then they're based at a limit of what you're able to do. So your opportunity at success is only capped at the level that you can handle. So life will only give you what you can handle. So if you can't handle, you know, if you want to build a brand, or if you want to do that, you have to be able to lay things off to the best people to do the best jobs. Do you know what I mean? And it's something to really be aware of. If not you, then who? Who can help you with the brand? Who can help you with your social media? Who can help you with your accountancy? Who can help you? You know, that it doesn't have to be always about you. And it's a really, 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 really great. And Marta, you know, there's like, you're not on your own, Marta, because I'm a mentor to you, Marta. You're part of the community, and that's why I'm such a community person, because I'm a huge believer in the collective. I'm a huge believer in self-care is really important, Nicola. Self-care is really important. This is a great conversation, guys. Thanks for the fantastic questions. I love you all. Yeah, that there's no, you know, that, you know, you make your dreams as big as you possibly can, and then look for people to help you fulfill them, you know, and they'll fulfill their dreams along the way, you know. So if that's possible, and treat them really fair and treat them really well, and you will find, is your internet no good, Charlie? I switched mine off. That's why I was late. I have to switch off all the kids' iPads. My kids have got iPads, they've got iPhones, they've got, listen, it's non-stop, you know, it's non-stop. But nobody's on their own here. Nobody's on their own here, because we have community. This is why community is so important. You know what I mean? It's just so important that nobody's out on your own here. You can reach out to anybody in the community. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to other people. You have education. So even on the page, if not who, you think of me for beige blondes, and you'll think of Spila for pinks. You know. You'll think of Anna Vaughan for high lifts. I don't think anybody knows more about high lift blondes than Anna Vaughan. You know, you think about Galini for those incredible worksheets and the incredible approach and technique. You know, there's so many people that you can reach out to. You know, so if not you, then who? You know, and it's a really, really important thing, but particularly if you want to make your dreams as big as possible. It's not possible to do them on their own. Tilke Ronaldo, he had 6 people living in his house who were there to help him, and even though he's a solitary player, he knew that by investing in himself, he would go on and be sold for 50 or 100 million. You know what I mean? It was lovely with Jane this morning. I just found that video. The wonderful Dom Chappelle asked me a few weeks ago to just put it down in 3 minutes for the hair community, and I just saw it on the page this morning, and I just put it up, you know. So it's sort of brought Jane back into our hearts, excuse me, and back into their minds. I've got my drink today. You have to guess what's in my drink, you know. And Jane for painting. What I'm going to go through today is not painting. It's here we go. I've dropped it now, so it could fizz over. It's not really paint. This is aimed at people who are not pro balayage painters. I'm not a pro balayage painter. You know, they're not pro balayage painters, and they're either in a situation where what they're doing every day behind the chair isn't necessarily balayage, or isn't necessarily, and then a client comes in looking for it and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to approach it. They're doing their old sort of weave toilet. So I'm going to show you a basic approach of something to start off, a foundation, a beginning, something for you to get confident at, because you must get a win. You know, you must get a win at the beginning. I see so many people who put up pictures. It's like people putting up a picture of Tiger Woods hitting a golf ball when they're putting up a picture of Jane Wallace or Lee or Candy or Lacey, or, you know, and they're putting up a picture and saying, how can I do that? I don't have any experience. It's like putting up a picture of the world's greatest Formula One driver and saying, oh, how can I drive Formula One cars? Oh, by the way, I can't drive, and by the way, I don't own a car. You know, and you're like, so people are shooting at the stars before they can walk. So you have to learn that progress is perfection. So you have to begin somewhere, okay? So this is a good place to begin, okay? This is a good place to begin if you're not hugely experienced with melts. Hi Narelle, if you're not usually experienced with melts, if you're not hugely experienced with blends, and you're not hugely experienced, that you really do have to do small steps and learn, like, to drive the car before you can be Lewis Hamilton, okay? You know, because some of the people posting on the page are the Lewis Hamiltons of balayage. I mean, some of the hair cutters like Lucian, some of the painters, these people are the best in the world, and they have refined their art for many years, 3,000 to 10,000 times. And so I have a client in tomorrow, I've no experience, can I do this? Just doesn't work that way. So this is a good place to start, okay? This is the way I train in the salon, and Sam does these now, boom, in the back of the net, and she understands how to do them, and it's her beginning, and then she'll go on and do more painting and go on. But it's a good beginning. Hiya Roisin, congratulations on winning Trend Vision. Everybody give a round of applause to Miss Roisin Hines. She's the gold winner for Ireland's Trend Vision. I'm a huge fan of her work. She posts on the page all the time, and she's just a lovely, authentic, gorgeous human being. I think she's being interviewed later on Instagram with Sarah Mason, I think about 8 o'clock. She's an absolute, what I would call a dote. She's a lovely human being. She's a lovely person, you know, and you really need to take your time. This is a beautiful technique. This is a beautiful approach for me to start, and for nearly all the kids that come into me, and I get loads of kids, 17, 18, 19. This is my approach for the kids when they sit in the chair. And if I don't have to melt it, I don't melt it, because I'm working in a salon environment, and if I spend 2 hours doing something, if I can do it with just toning it at the basins, then she's moved on and I'm on to my next client. You know what I'm saying? So that really works as well in a salon. Or I will book the melt in with somebody else if that needs to be done. So it just gives you that time. So this is a very salon friendly approach, okay? It's a very salon friendly approach, and it's called a back home weave, okay? It's called a back home weave. And we'll go through the fundamentals and the understanding and the why we would approach it and how we would do it, you know? When you kind of have to explain to your client, and you have to have a consultation with your client about lighting up their face, you know? We get so het up about the root of people's hair, of the roots, because we've been institutionalized in doing highlights so close to the root, better to the root. For a lot of us here that are on the that are on the tread, you know, you've been institutionalized in believing that, you know, we have these like urban myths, you know, like, you know, all bass and no tone. Everything's better the root, as we would say in Ireland. And there's all these, like, you know, and things have changed and things are so different. And then a client brings us in a picture of something, and the root is quite shadowed and it's quite dark, and we don't know what to do. You know, we don't know what to do, because we've been so trained, you know, in that way, that we sort of get like a brain freeze. So you need to think about the areas that light up people's face, okay? Right, so the areas that light up people, you have to look at the face shape, you know. Back home works every time for me. It'll never let you down. It's a great place to start, and you can go from a back home weave to a back home paint to a paint to a zigzag paint, to a back home zigzag. Like there's all the, and we can go through these every Sunday if you want, you know. So we'll start off with a back home weave, then there's a back home paint, then there's a zigzag paint, then there's a zigzag back home paint, and then there's the original, and then you go and you look at like incredible painters who just paint freehand, like Jane or like Lacey or like Candy or like Lee or, you know, or Jonathan, you know, and you see, you know, but they will tell you the amount of work that they've put in to be able to get there, you know. You light up our faces with your singing. Yes, well, I might sing tonight then, you know, I might sing tonight. So you need to think about their face shapes, okay? So when they bring in a picture, you kind of have to explain to the client the way things work. You know what I mean? The way things work. So many back home things. Which one? I'll show you my one. I'll show you my basic back home. You know, I'll show it to you. So don't worry, we're gonna get to that. But you have to be able to understand what you're doing in your head. Or if you don't understand what you're doing in your head, your client won't understand. She doesn't know what she's looking. Hag's a beautiful balayage. She doesn't understand what she's looking at. You know. But these days, if you light up somebody's face here, and here, and here, and here, and all through here, I love to light up the back side. See all these sections? They light up a face, okay? All that here, and here, and here. And then you have the focal points of the face. You know, you have the eyebrow, the eye, the cheekbone, the nose, the top lip, the bottom lip, the chin, and right down, you know. So you will see with someone like Giselle, who has a very long face, she usually would start her sort of balayage around her cheekbone. You would see someone like Sarah Jessica Parker, who has a big forehead, she would start her highlights here. So you need to explain that to your customer straight off the bat, because when you explain that to the customer, it's so fundamentally true. She'll go, oh, this one knows what she's talking about. This one knows what she's talking about, and her mind will be blown, and she'll completely relax. Me too, Karen. Me too. It's a great way to do it. Me too. I can't wait to print them off for my assistants. Sherry, you're in the LA studio. I want one of those alumni t-shirts, alumni t-shirts. Okay, you need to get me one. Okay, and I'll wear it here on a Sunday service for thousands of people to watch. How's that sound? You get me one of those out of LA. Okay, whatever you have to do, beg, borrow, steal. Get one for your Uncle Andrew, Sherry, okay? And enjoy your gig in LA. So when you're talking about lighting up, yeah, I know, yeah, Sherry, love it, babes, love it. So these are the areas this area doesn't light up her face, okay? So if you give a client a lot of lightness around here, okay, that's what she's gonna see. She's gonna see the lightness here, okay? We've been so institutionalized, we think lightness is here, okay? Now that just brings us our eye to here. It doesn't bring us our eye to the face here, does it? You know, you've got to understand, you know, what you're lighting up and why you're lighting up. And you've got to explain to the client why she likes it. You've got to explain to the client what she's looking at, why it works, and how it's going to work on her face shape. Okay, do an old Madonna song. Very hard for me to sing Madonna, you know what I mean? But I was listening to the other day, Lorraine, Take a Bow. Do you remember Take a Bow? Take a bow, the night is over. Look, you've got me going already, Lorraine. That's such a great song. When you get to the part that you're breaking my heart. I haven't a note in my head. But anyway, back to this. So if you're able to explain to the client, you know, like a prayer. Yeah, like a prayer. If you're able to explain to the client that whatever they're looking at and how to make it work on their face, shape. So you say, let's pretend, I'm Nicole's my guy. So I'm going to go, Nicole's brought in a picture of Sarah Jessica Parker, okay? So she's looking at a picture of Sarah. And I go, oh, she's beautiful, isn't she, Sarah Jessica Parker? Isn't she absolutely beautiful? Yep, isn't she? I'll just take one of these calls. She's absolutely beautiful. Now Nicole, Sarah Jessica Parker has a much higher forehead than you. She's got a much bigger forehead than you. And you will see Yeah, you will see on her pictures, Nicole, that her highlights never start above her eyebrow because she doesn't want to bring her forehead into play. Okay? So by saying that, she's thinking about that and she's going, yep, that's true. I've never seen Sarah Jessica Parker with a forehead above. You know? Okay? So, you know, so you can sort of say, but Nicole, when we look at your face, like you've got a smaller face than Sarah Jessica Parker. So I feel that maybe we should give you a little bit of a face frame just to open up your face here. And she's like, oh, okay, that sounds quite nice. And then what we'll do is we lighten up all these sections here, which will open up your face shape. And we'll lighten up all these sections here. And let's keep the top section shadowed and a little bit darker. And we'll put some highlights in up here so it'll grow out beautifully. So for her, she'll have the lightness around her face. She won't have any regrowth. And she'll be looking at highlights. Oh, I'll show you how to do that up here. She'll be looking at highlights really from this bit out, from around this bit out. So maybe eyebrow or a little bit above this bit out. Yes? And she goes, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want to have any lines up here. You know, so you've broken it down for her. You've explained to her why it works and how it works. So it's like a classic balayage. Everybody get that? Everybody on the page with that? How important your consultation is. You know, how important. Right said Fred. You know, all right. Who said put up right said Fred? I'm doing the ironing before I know it's all done. Results. Keep going. Okay. Keep talking. Okay. So does that is hands up? Yeah. Everybody on with that. Okay. So the vocal points: eyebrow, eye, nose, top lip, bottom lip, chin. Okay, so you can sort of say to yourself, this is going to be my guide, her cheekbone, or this is going to be my guide, her eye, or this is going to be my guide, her eyebrow. Yes, yeah, you know. So as I said, because she's a small forehead, we could do a little Jennifer Aniston, a little tiny, you know, little tiny face frame. As you'll see with Jennifer, they just do a face frame like this through her front area here, which strengthens up her chin, because you will see that Jennifer Aniston wouldn't have the strongest chin in the world, and by strengthening up her chin, it gives her silhouette. So all through her career, she's changed her hair. Yes, she's gone lighter, she's gone richer, she's gone darker, she's put more extensions in, but she's always kept her face frame. Why? Because it's her face. It's there to strengthen her face. It's not there for her hair. Your hair is not a hat. It's not something that you put on that doesn't blend in. Your hair has to become a part of your face shape, your bone structure, your skin tone, your eye colour, for it to be a signature. Okay, if you want to charge the big buckaroos, if you want to charge the money, that's what you need to be. That's what you need to be doing. Okay, so you can then. You guys are all talking songs tonight. Full of karaoke. No, we're going to do a Zoom call where you're all on. We're going to do a Zoom call where you're all on. I'll be dressed as Elvis. Well, you know, the black wig, the whole lot of in the ghetto, and her mama cried. Yeah, you know. So that's that. So you can see that all through her career, she's changed her hair, lighter, darker, richer, warmer, but her technique has never changed, okay? Because it's there to strengthen her face shape. Yes, okay? Okay, and that's a little mini pyramid, okay? Little mini pyramid. So these are the areas that lighten up the face. Here, okay? Here. This is what the client sees in the mirror. And once you break it down and explain to her, she'll have huge confidence in you that you actually know what you're talking about, okay? Yeah, that you actually know what you're talking about and you understand about face frames. Consultation is very, 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 very important. You're all in the mood for a bit of singing today. There's a lot of newbies on today. They're not used to listening to a mad elf full of singing, but they just might have to, you know what I mean? They just might have to have them, you know. So for this, I'll show you versions of what this kind of technique is without a melt, okay? Without a melt. You're doing right, said Fred, I'm too sexy, is it? Without a melt. Okay. Let me see him get in here. Okay. So classic back comb. Oh, that light's a bit bright, isn't it? So classic back comb. Jesus, it's bright tonight in here, isn't it? There we go. trying to get the light right there. But you can see that these are classic back comb weaves. See them? Yeah, let me see. Back comb weaves, straight. See them with a face frame? Yeah, back comb weaves with a face frame. Okay, this is a classic kind of girl who's looking for this type of thing, okay? Back comb weaves, see the way they all blend in, and see she has a face frame through the front of it. This is the classic girl who's coming in, and she's looking for highlights. So there's no highlights up here, but there's highlights all through the sides, and you can see around her, you can see the little face frame, and you can see them all through there. See the way they blend? Same on this one, a darker one, you know. You can see the back comb weaves. Good place to start. Okay, let me see. Here, let me see. Classic back comb weaves again. Back comb weaves all the way down through it with a face frame. Why is it so bright today? Okay, maybe it's the way I'm holding it. You can see there's a big face frame in this one. See, it's a big face frame because she has a very small forehead, yeah? She's got a very small forehead. So she's got a lovely base colour, so you can just blend them through. You can just tone them. Okay, so do you show us how you, when you, it'd be great sometimes you put your own pictures to show us there. So that gives you an idea of what you're going to get, of how natural it is. How natural it is and how to start, you know. Where do you think a face frame should start? But it's nothing to do with your chin, sweetheart. You know what I mean? But I would definitely is it your chin too big here or here? I mean, I really like a thin face frame, Cheryl. I like a thin face frame for a chin. I just think it strengthens out the chin. Do you know what I mean? You'll work it out once somebody explains it to you. You'll work it out. The best thing to do is to assimilate the knowledge. Get used to it in your head and adapt, and then it'll come through to you about how to make it work. So just sort of sit back and let it wash over you, okay? So let that wash over you. But this is your classic client, right? Okay, she doesn't want loads of melts in her hair. She doesn't want you to mess with her. She doesn't want you to mess with her base color. She doesn't want any hair on it. You know, she doesn't want any of those, you know, she just wants to keep it really natural and wants a face frame and has highlights growing out, and that's it. So that's what this is aimed at, okay? And this is for the beginners, for people to start off. You cannot run before you walk, you know what I mean? So it's all about lighting up the face, and it's all about, so that's the basics of how you would consultate it and know what they're doing. So let me see if I can... So for me, when I'm doing this kind of hiya Lee, how are you? For me, doing this kind of thing, it would be this kind of section I would be doing. I would be doing a C-shaped slice, you know, and then I would be back home in the slice, and then so it would be upside down. So it would be dedicated to Miss Jane Wallace and her scoops, you know. See here and here, yeah, and you should, yeah, that's very true. Your self-talk is so important. You shouldn't. You know, you should be nice to yourself, okay? Should be nice to yourself, okay? So this is that's the type of section I would be talking about, yeah. So let me show you just you know, so I would be doing quite a lot all the way through this underneath because I'd want to lighten up all the face. I just wouldn't be doing a lot up here. But I'd be doing a lot here, and I'd be doing a lot internally here, because these are the areas that I want to lighten up, because these are the areas that bring out our face, yeah? You know, these are the areas that bring out our face. You want to see the diagram again? Yeah, so for this one, we would do loads of these. You know, you would do loads of them. You can do them quite fine, okay? You can do them quite fine. I mean, I do much bigger ones. There's a mad one for you. Look, yeah, I do stuff like that. That's with reds and coppers just to melt your brain, you know. Who can't foil good. Who can't foil good. It's back home ways for people who can't foil. Now, it's for people who can foil really good. It's for people who can foil really good, but can't paint good. You know what I mean? Or haven't had the time. Not that they can't paint good. They haven't had the time to put in to practice it, okay? They've been too busy behind the chair. People like me who haven't had the chance, you know, people who haven't had the chance to... You're back, Valerie. Okay, you're back in the game. People who haven't had a chance to spend the time to learn, they're just too busy behind the chair. And this is an alternative I can step in and do tomorrow behind the chair, okay? It's really quite easy. Yeah, so I'll turn this one around here. I won't be able to see the comments now for a minute. I've knocked over that drink again. Yeah? Let me see. Okay. Nicole isn't happy with our back cheer there, okay? So let's just take a section. Let's take some grips out of my Wella family apron. Will I show you the apron one more time? Isn't the apron beautiful, isn't it? It's not a beaut, isn't it? Okay. So let's just go down here. Section the hair out that you're not using. Okay. Are we all okay? Yeah? So think of it just like a curved slice. You know what I mean? Just think of it as a curved slice. Yes? Okay, so you go in and you turn. Okay? So see the way it's like... There. Sorry. Here. You can take these as fine or as thick as you want, depending on the hair. Obviously, the texture of the hair. So it's a little bit of a C. And you'll often see when people do this, love that apron like Christmas Day when it came, nice clothes again, absolutely. So you just hold it, you don't go bananas, you just put it in and you push, okay? 1. You just put it in and you push. 2. That might be enough, you know, for some people, but we'll do 3 because people like 3. So there's 3, okay? Now, I'm looking at that as being a part of our face. So then all you do is you've got 3 breaking it, yeah? You've got 3 breaking it. Yeah, make sure you keep your, you know, no death grip, okay? 1, 2, 3, and then weave your section out. Now, this is, I'll give you what I like to do a lot of the time. If I'm doing this on a 17-year-old kid and she hasn't had her hair done before, I will tend to use a tinted highlight and then I'll go into bleach. So say I will use like a 10-8 and 9%, and then I'll go in and use a blonde or plex on the ends, so that you will get a tint, you know, just a sunlightened effect here, like a 10-8 and 9 or a 10-1 or 10-1-6 or something like that. And then I'll paint into blonde or plex 6% down further. So the section will be like that. It'll be like a tinted highlight into bleached highlight. Nice and uneven. Yeah? Okay? Okay. It doesn't have to be a fat or a thin weave. I would probably do a tin, you know. That what will happen is, it's a great question, Charlie. What happens is that you're afraid that it's not going to blend, okay? So you're like, you're actually saying to yourself, oh, it's not going to blend, it's not going to blend. So you keep them super fine. And then when you're taking these out with the basins and you see that section blending back into that section and you see how well it blends. 1 through 3. Now, the waltz slice. So you see, you know, you'll see how well it blends, and then the next time you'll probably do them chunkier, and then the next time you'll do them chunkier again, and then the next time you do this kind of thing, you'll start just to paint on them, okay? But this is where you start. What about a 50-year-old Andrew asking for a friend? I do this on 50-year-olds all the time, you know what I mean? I will do the roots first, or I do Colour Touch Plus. I'll do the Colour Touch Plus on their root, and then I'll backcomb them and weave them out. Boom. Yeah, no problem. Hiya, Tracy. How are you? Saw you out on the beach today. Do you always start at the back? No, but I don't start at the sides, because the sides is the weakest part of the hair, okay? So, where are you painting to? Well, I'm going to use the face as the face frame. So, Let's do it on this side. So let's do a side, okay? But remember, the sides of a woman's hair are the most fragile, okay? The sides of a woman's hair here. Okay, this is the most fragile part of a woman's hair, okay? This section here. See it right here? This section here is the most fragile. And it's the section that after you've had children or anything like that, that this whole section can really thin out, okay? So this section is the most sensitive, it's the most fragile, it's the most... Would you leave sides until last? I always do the sides last, Tracy. So I will do, it depends on what I'm doing above here. But a lot, like, yeah, I won't do, I will use a lower volume on them. But let's do the sides, okay? But that particular area of a woman's hair, you have to mind, okay? Because you will see, when they tie it back, you will see how little hair they have. You will see that they will lose it from not enough calcium, from having kids, from hormone problems, from everything. So this is the area of the hair that you have to tell them to mind, okay? Because they'll end up just, destroying it. But let's use the sides, okay? Let's use the sides as a face frame. So where would you like... Okay, hang on there. Let me turn this around. Sorry, Nicole, I have you all over the place this morning. I have you all over the place. She's quite liking the attention tonight, actually. She I can feel it off her. She quite likes it. She quite likes all the attention. Look, she's kind of smiling. Okay. Yeah, she's kind of smiling. Okay. So where would you like me to face frame? Let's do a face frame from just around her eye, or let's use the focal point of her eyes. Okay, Martha's in there with her eyes. Her eyes are quite high. So, okay, so let's do the first one. So it's a C shape. Get her in a full Nelson. Nick, only you and me probably watched the wrestling they used to be on. The wrestling they used to be on a Saturday on English TV with Big Daddy and all that type of stuff. The full Nelson. Do you remember? We used to watch that. Did you? Yeah, it was gas. World of Sport, Saturday night, Saturday afternoons. Wrestling, 3 o'clock. Nick knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, she is. She's all over, isn't she? She's so happy. Look. So let's just do a little curve, okay? Let's do a little curve. Okay. We keep them quite fine. Okay, let's lift them up. So we're looking at our eyes, so we're going quite tight. Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, remember? Okay, so here's our section. So push it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah? There's our eye. Okay. See how well they'll blend in? Okay. Lift her up. There's our eye. Start painting your whatever you're having on there. You can have your blonde straight into your blonde orplex, or you can do a tint into bleach, which is what I like to do, particularly on young girls. So you take that section down, and then you slice the second one. So no break, straight in, turn. Turn. Okay, lift it up. Push. 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 Weave. Now, it's physically impossible for them not to blend, okay? You won't get it, that's what the brothers were called again. The bushwhackers. I remember them. I loved Big Daddy. I loved Giant Haystacks. Yeah, they were brilliant. So it's impossible for them not to get a blend. See how well they'll blend in? Look, boom, they'll blend in so perfectly. So you don't have to worry about melting away a line. You don't have to worry about any of that type of stuff. You can just take it out, tone it, and away you go. Okay? Away you go. Yeah, you always back home and then weave. You know, I do. Yes, for sure. You get rid of the hair to break your line and then you weave, you know, straight in. So you'll go and you'll do that all the way up. Now, the thing to remember, and where people make mistakes, let's just leave out our face frame, is that they don't, this is such an important part of a back comb weave. See, this is just such an important part because it's where she sees it. Okay, so all these are going to lighten up her face. See all that section? That's all going to lighten up her face. You can do another one here. Turn. That's going to lighten up her face. But she's going to see this in the mirror up here. So you need to do them all the way up. Okay, so you go in and see your little turn, your little turn. And as you go up, you just use your eye as the focal point. So you sort of say to yourself, this is down here, so this is the eye. Or you can go a little bit higher if you want, you know. It's up to you. You just need to practice it. So I'm going to shoot to the eyebrow here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Put them in. They're going to blend, okay? Don't worry, they're going to blend. See how well they will blend? Yeah? Okay? And then you do them all the way up. Okay? You do not leave out the section. So when I'm sectioning this, I'll show you how I would section this. Okay? When I'm sectioning this, before I'm starting this head, I will say to myself, right, I will say like a teardrop through the top, and then I'll pivot around in a circle just so that I don't get lost. So I will take a section above here and I'll turn that here. I'll get that in. So I'll have that turned. There we go, keeping them on the. So that's going to be my face frame. And that's going to be my back comb weaves. And then I can take that. So that will be the curve that I will work. And then I can't get lost, you know. So that's going to be my face frame. That's going to be all my back comb weaves. And I will take that down and we will be doing back comb weaves up to there. And then so let's take the top section, say. Let's just take the top section down, okay? It's a little bit big, but there we go. Let's just push that down. So there's your top section. There's our eye, okay? Hold it. 1, 2. 2 is probably enough here because our hair's seen a lot of action. And then put it down. There's our eye, as I say. So push it down, so about here. So there you go. You will go straight in there and paint all that on, and that will blend, you know, so she will get highlights all the way through. So when that's finished, all this will give you a highlighted effect. Let me see if I can find a picture. Everybody with me? I'll have to catch up later. Just that a husband walks in and required a haircut. Oh yes, off you go, Lisa. Off you go. So that will give you, oh, look how bright this, I can't understand why it's so bright tonight. Okay. So that will give you that effect. You see the way it blends all through the top and grows out. For this type of kid, it's a perfect look. And then you can see the face frame here, all the way through here. Right there. So this is the dream for this kid. She doesn't want anything on her base colour. She doesn't want anything to make her base colour. You know, look, to make her hair brassy. She's done the homework. She knows what's going on. She knows what's going on around. So this is what she is looking for. So you have got to blend here through technique. Okay, why is the light so bright? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So you can see how well it blends on the top there, yeah? Can you make it bigger, Andrew? There you go. See how well it blends? You know, so see, this is a dream for me. Yes, this will change your work, okay? This will change like a zigzag. This can change your everyday work. I mean, this is not aspirational. This is not, this is, turn the brightness down on your iPad. Easier said than done, Mr. Khan. You know what I mean? Turn the bright. Yeah, maybe you're right, actually. Settings. It's there. It's done anyway. Okay, display brightness. Yes, okay. What would you do without a Nick Khan? Okay, it's, you know, if it's not you, then who? It's Nick. That's who. Okay, if it's not you, it's who. That's Nick. I think that did help, Nick. That did help. Yes, that did help. He's right. That did help. So even here, you see the blend. You see it if it's blow dried, poker straight. You see how well you will get a blend. Okay. Yes, I can do this, Tracy. I can do this, blend this without even toning. Okay, I can do it. I'll always do seal and care, and I'll tone afterwards. But I can blend. It's just the face frame to the root. Exactly, Nicola. Nothing else is to the root, and even the face frame is broken to the root. I knew what you meant. You know, so the face frame is broken. You can see it here on this one. You know, so I can tell you what this was. This was 775 and 9%, and the front here was 1216, and the ends here were 1216. So this was 775 and 9% into 1216 and 12, and the front was 1216 and 12, and that was just rinsed, no toner, blonde or sealing care. You know, it's amazing that you don't need to put loads and stuff on it, because there is that level of client that they don't want all that stuff on their hair. You know what I mean? They don't want that. I never like highlights in a fringe, Elizabeth. Why would you want to highlight a fringe? I actually hate highlights in a fringe. I think they just do nothing but weaken the fringe. You know what I mean? So I think I have a picture here, Liz. Actually, it's a great question, Elizabeth. I don't really understand. Like, there's a picture of a client I did. There's our fringe. Fringe is kept dark. Let's see if I find another picture of her. You know. I don't know if I have it. Yeah, is that it? So if I'm highlighting through here, I'll highlight all the way down. You can see like their back comb weaves, and the top is kept dark and the fringe is kept dark. And then I'll highlight through the sides, and I'll emphasize her bone structure and her skin tone and her eye color. And I will tell her, I will tell. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl. I will tell. Some people ask me, but once you explain to them, Elizabeth, once you explain to them, it makes total sense to them. You know, or if I am highlighting a root, I will always leave the underneath section dark to create some strength, because nothing breaks a fringe like a highlight. Nothing drains a fringe like a highlight. Always a middle parting? No. Good question, Charlene. So let me do a side parting. Charlene, you're a legend. You're a legend. Would you like a side parting, dear? She would. Look, she's loving it tonight. She's loving it. She's loving the bit of she's loving it. With your clue, thank you. Yeah, she's loving it. So let's do a side parting, will we? Okay. So on a side parting, when I'm doing this, I'm probably gonna do a little bit more of a box section. Okay. So will we do one right across? Yeah. Okay. So let's see, a side parting. Side partings have got to be heavy, yeah? Here we go. This reminds me of the classic Anthony Moscolo, Tony and Guy from the 80s. Do you remember Anthony? Do you remember Anthony Moscolo did these? A beautiful, what a hairdresser, you know what I mean? You're like the Hugh Hefner of Wella. I wouldn't mind all the wives there, Nick, you know? I wouldn't mind all the wives downstairs. Probably watching, I have to keep quiet. I mean... So there's a look. This is like dedicated to Mr. Anthony Moscolo, one of the true visionaries of hair. Okay, so side parting, Charlene, legend. What a question. Love it, love it. Be lost without you guys. Love it. So there's a side parting. Okay, so I would think, I just got to get my head around this now, you know what I mean? Because I've just got to work the face shape. So we're probably looking at about here, are we? I mean, I don't want to put highlights up there and break our fringe, like you'd see straight through the forehead, you know what I mean? You see straight through the forehead, Night Rider. You see straight through the forehead. He'd be in a silk dressing gown. I'd love a silk dressing gown, you know. Who when they check straight into a hotel, you know, whenever I was going to do gigs for Wella and stuff like that, and if they put me in, like usually if you're working, you don't get put in a good hotel because you're working, because it doesn't matter, because you're working, you're never going to be there. So why would you be in a good hotel? You're usually working from 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. You know, this is when you're doing shows. You are gone at 6 and you're not back till 10 or 11. Like they're hard going, you know what I'm saying? But the odd time they put you in a really good hotel. Like I was doing a gig in Monaco. Actually, Sonia Dove was doing this gig as well. And they put me in this whopper hotel in Monaco. I mean whopper, okay? Whopper hotel. First thing I do, I get into the dressing gown. Who else does that? Who else gets straight into the dressing gown, okay? Straight into the dressing gown. Belly out, straight into the dressing gown. Have a little look and have a little lie down with the dressing gown on. Stick the telly on. Yeah, who else does that? Who else does that? Might have a little look in the servy bar. You're not going to touch anything, you know, right now till you find out the price of it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Who else? Straight on with the dressing gown. Yeah, straight on with the dressing gown. And then if the truth be known, order an old hamburger and chips. Do you know what I mean? I love Monaco as well. I must do a Sunday service just about Monaco, you know, and you know, just order. You know, it's a little secret to you. You know, order the old burger and chips. So then when you go out to dinner that night, you can go, oh, I'm not that hungry. I won't eat that much. So people won't know that you're a complete savage, and they go, how is he fat? He hardly eats. Do you know what I mean? Hardly eats because he ordered room service before he left, babes. Okay, I mean, he ordered room service before he left. Okay, me and the slippers. I love it, Angela. Love it. Love it, Angela. Straight in. No messing. No messing. Walking around, checking the shower, you know, having a look around. This one in Monaco, you press the buttons and it was like James Bond. All these like things came down, electrics came down over so it was a complete dark room and then they came back up. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I had a great gig in Monaco. It was a great show, actually. It was really brilliant. I'll never forget Patrick Cameron's show. His I think his mum had just passed away, and he did. It was like Claire de Lune. It was absolutely beautiful. I was bawling my eyes out. It was absolutely amazing, you know. So anyway, we'll do the side fringe. So let's. There's your side bit, okay, up there, and here's your side fringe. So it's like that's your section, yeah? That's your section. So lift that up and then just do little C's, okay? So let's do a first one there, okay? Let's do a first one. In through here. Push. Don't go hard because you've got to comb it out afterwards. Two is enough there for me, I think. 2. And then pull it down and you can do them at you can do them at that angle, okay? You can go like this, look in. Okay? And you can put them in. And then you can paint at that angle. Paint downwards. Yeah? Just hold it with your thumb and paint downwards. Yeah? And then you'll see how that will blend in perfectly. Great question, Charlene. I have to say, legend. Little turn on the second one. See the little curvaceous. Yes. Little section there. In, push. And then again, we'll look at the angle, put it down, use our face as the guide. Use our face. And she'll watch you doing this and she'll be like, and you can even say to her, I'm using your face as the guide here so that this will just offset your fringe, and it'll open up your face and your eyes, and she'll be saying to herself, oh my God, this guy's amazing, this guy's, I'm never leaving him. I'm never leaving him. I'm never leaving him anywhere else. You know, I'm never ever leaving. I've got 17-year-old kids who've come to me and then sent me like WhatsApp, you know, saying like, it's just the most amazing thing. I'm so happy and all that, you know. And even though it costs them a fortune, you know, they won't go anywhere. And then you can have a chat with them about minding their hair. So again, you can just paint it at the angle, side angle downwards like that, and it'll blend perfectly in. Keep going up, section here, and you keep working it down to the eye, keep working it down to the eye, keep working it down to the eye. Now you see, for the side parting to work, how far back it has to be to make it work. You know who did beautiful side fringes was Mr. Shea Dempsey, the global director for Sebastian. Absolutely beautiful side fringes. Open it up. They've got to be heavy. So there's a side, you know. As I said, the last thing, I just wouldn't be putting, I don't really put highlights into partings, and if I do, I put them, I don't really. Is it cheaper if you're in a dressing gown? It's no cheaper. It's no cheaper if I'm in a dressing gown. I used to work for the Four Seasons, and I used to go into hotel rooms on a Saturday. I used to have to work out of hotel rooms, and myself and Shay on a Saturday, we used to work for the Four Seasons, and we used to have to go into hotel rooms we're doing quite good. Every second Saturday I worked, and I hated it. Do you know what I mean? I hated it because I wasn't in a salon situation, and I felt that my work wasn't as good. And I mean, we'd be doing superstars and doing people like this. Can you show us the original section you took there, please? Original section. I don't know. You haven't seen me in a dressing gown, Sandy. You know what I mean? You'd need to have your shades on, you know. Even though I'm determined now to keep the weight off me for the next 6 weeks sitting in the house, I'm determined. My wife's cracking herself laughing at me. I'm determined. I'm watching. I was exercise. I never exercise on a Sunday because I always keep all my energy for you guys. But I did a 5K this morning. You know what I mean? I'm not messing about. I am not leaving I saw one this morning that in a lockdown you either become hunky, you know, chunky, drunky, you know, or monkey, you know, like a monk. They either become these. So I'm gonna leave just like a little bit more monkey and still kind of where I'm at. If I can keep where I'm at, I'll be happy at that. So what did you want me to show you again, Sam? Did you want me to show the original section? You know what I mean? So they're C curvature shapes bent down. Hi Simone, how are you? C curvature shapes, and you can do them as fine or as thick as you want. Do you know what I mean? All the way across. You can do them as fine or as thick. I'd probably do loads of them there. You know what I mean? Loads of them in between. So that's how you would section, and you would do all the head. You know, all the way across. You know. Exactly what Martha says, thanks. We do it all the way across. There's loads on tonight. So, what's it? Hunky, chunky, drunky, or monkey? You know, monkey. You know, I do a lot of self-development. And these, yes, this is dedicated to Miss Jane Wallace, who did her scoops. And by doing this and backcombing it, when you break it down, it diffuses in right into the hair. Okay, it blends right in. This is a great way to start. Okay, this is not for the pro balayage experts. You know what I mean? Yes, like fish scales, like Nick said. This is like, I'll show you this again. Okay, so can you bump these sections? Picture up the Wella page. Can you? I can, Mandy, and I won't forget. If you don't wash funky, you do have a tendency to let yourself go a little bit in lockdown, don't you? You know what I mean? Do you mind screenshotting a picture of your print images? Not at all. The pictures that I've done them on, or the actual techniques, okay? But the thing to remember is the face shape. You know, that these are the areas you're looking to open up with a balayage. These are the areas that you're looking to. We're addicted to thinking, you know, this is what they see in the mirror, and this is how it grows out, and this is what we need to do. And we're addicted to this. It's like years of training. But actually, these are the areas that, so if we look at if we look at Nicole again, and God knows she loves us looking at her tonight. She's mad into it. She's loving her side fringe there, you know what I mean? That if you look at Nicole tonight, so I will show you different sections that you can, you know. There's a classic sort of slight, big sort of chunky slice shape in this kind of in this kind of face frame that was done by Tony and Guy in the 80s. You know, it was called the classic diamond shapes. I don't know if anybody knows it. I'm working on losing them already down 12. So I put C15. I put on the C15. Oh yeah, okay. She's feeling quite smug. She is. Okay. Do any of you like, so back in the day, this was a classic Tony and Guy shape, and they used to do these big sort of chunky sections that would just peekaboo out through the side, and you'd be like, how did they do those? And as I'm here, you know, you want to practice that as much as you can. You'll do one, you know what'll happen, Tracy, is you'll do one and it'll blend so well, you'll go, I wish there was more in it. Okay, I wish I'd done more in it. And that's a great place to start, because then the next time you won't do as much backcombing. And then you won't, and then you'll improve and you'll start. I've always been loving these techniques. They're just very accurate. Very, very great ways to teach. They're a great way that if you're not able, if it's not you, then who? So I can get Sam, say, to do my Aaron's hair and I can say to Sam, C-shaped, C curvature balayage, bleed it through 10-8 into blonde or with 6%, and she will do that and it will be nailed. Where if somebody else does a painting, it'll never look the same as somebody else doing a painting, because it's just not possible. So by this type of thing, again, this goes back to where I come from, which is salon. And in salon where we work, we have to do 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 clients, 6 clients a day. So we have to have consistency. You know what I mean? We have to have consistency. So it's just a way that if you're not available, somebody else can do the same type of look, and the client will be really happy. And that there's basics, you know, that there's basics to stuff. Show the Tony and Guy technique. I will, Michelle. I thought you'd never ask, Michelle. This is dedicated to Catherine Sweeney, Jason, AJ, Nick, Anthony, you know, fantastic team. I was lucky enough to do a bit of work with them in the 90s, and they had such respect for me that they actually let me work for them as a Wella person. You know what I mean? So I went in and I used Wella colour, and I sort of, I was Wella, and I worked in basically in their company, which wasn't Wella. They had their own company. They had their own company, but they were so just such amazing hairdressers. They liked your work you were in, and I have to say, amazing. Anyway, so they used to do these things called they used to do diamonds. So let's take, we'll do 2 of these. So you'd lift this up, this section here, yeah, okay, and then go in and you're going to create a diamond. So you'll go down doing a pyramid. You don't want it on the hairline, you know, so you don't want the hairline done, so you want it to be just outside the hairline. This is for, like, it's a bit more hair showy and creative, avant-garde stuff, really, guys. But still, I still do these in the salon. So there's your inverted pyramid, okay? Yeah, you see that there? And then you take the top off that there. Like, break that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So it's like you have 2 pyramids. So you put 2 pyramids together, you get a diamond. So you see you have a diamond section there. Okay, so you have your diamond section. So you have a peak there, you have a peak, you have a peak there, a peak there, a peak there, and a peak there. Sorry, Nicole, I'll push that down for you. Yeah? So this whole section, yeah? Okay, this whole section is going to be coloured. Okay, so there's your peak. So so then if you pull the diamond forward, if you over direct it forward, you see you have a square shape. Yeah. This is real Jason Gray territory, you know. Jason's amazing at this type of stuff. So there you have that full section, okay? So let's keep it quite commercial. So in this section then, we could slice, say, a 775 there. Now we could do a dark on the root because we want to create a root shadow, and then go into 775, yeah? Then the next one we could do a dark one on the root and do, say, a 6-4. And then the next one we could do, you know, a 7-7. And then the next one a 7-4-4. And so on. And then you'll pull it down and you'll get a sort of copper, red, brown section. See all that whole section? So you'll basically have your surrounds that you will put in here, and around here and here, so and then this down here. So when you put this over it, you'll have a peak that will just show through here. See where my tail comb is? You'll have a peak, and then you'll have a section underneath here that will elongate the shape, so you get that full shape all the way round. And you can do them like in different parts of the head, full diamond shapes, full diamond sections. And you can create colour within colour, and you just get that. If you have that, like we're starting to see big shapes coming back in. You know, big shapes are coming back in, big chunky shapes from the 90s, and that's a brilliant way to do it, because a lot of people, where they go wrong with chunky shapes is that they're too flat. You know, that they're like flat to the head, and they're like. But if you do an inverted, funky shape, you know, if you do an inverted punchy shape, do you leave any gaps? No gaps. I leave no gaps. I'll do one for you. You know what I mean? I'll do one for you, because it's really amazing. I used to do these, like when I was big into avant-garde work. I used to do like sort of blacks, and then I do different levels of yellow in that section. So it'll be a lighter and a darker yellow, sometimes even a greeny yellow, and I'd have black here and black here and black. And then I'd have this like neon yellow that would be breaking through it. And it would be like an ocean. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like an ocean. If they were doing, let's just say they were working from the centre. Good. Another great question there, Sandy. Another great question. Let's say they're working from the centre. Now this is strong work, okay? This is street work, okay? But let's say they're working from the centre and you want to do, you know, two chunky bits that just break through it. Well, then you'll just do a different type of shape. There's one here. Okay, see it there? You don't want the hairline in. That's where people make mistakes, putting the hairline in. And then when they tie it back, you've got a big lump at the hairline. So you don't want the hairline in. You're working me tonight, guys. You are working me tonight. Do you remember this technique? I was the head of colour and Catherine was the head of... Thanks for the memory. You know, it was an amazing technique, and Catherine was unbelievable, Sharon. Yeah, an amazing team. My hat's off to Nick Irwin, Anthony Moscolo, Catherine Sweeney, AJ, Jason Gray. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. What's his? I mean, just incredible team, incredible time. You know, and amazing. Anyway. Back at it. So here we are in the centre. So take it straight down like that. Take it straight up like that. Get the hairline out. And then boom, up like that. And then you'll see how close this is. So there's the parting. So it's just gonna peek through that. You know what I mean? There's the parting. You could do back home weaves on top of that, but I wouldn't. I like it just keep. So then, once you have that section like that, once you have that section where it's like that, and it's like that, where it's a pyramid all the way, then this is the secret to it, guys. This is the secret, is that within that section, do different colours in that section. Do you know what I mean? Different colours, okay? Do different colours. And that's what makes it work. And you can do a dark root if you want. So let's pick some colours, okay? Let's pick some just beautiful, nice colours. Let's do 775 with a dark root, into 97 with a dark root, into 781, into 735, into 813, into 97, and then when you wear it down, it'll be like a caramel, ash, warm. You know, it'll have all the mixtures, okay? It's always good to put colours in your sections. When you're doing big sections, it's important to use different colours within your big section, okay? So if you just do like a big red, you know, bit here, it'll look good. But if you do a red and a blue and a purple, it'll look reddy, bluey, purple. So it'll look like the ocean. So it'll move. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it'll move, and you can take them really far, and you can get really into it. You know what I mean? You can get really into it. Where you could do, you know, you have me now here, like I'm really in teaching mode tonight, haven't I? So you could do here straight down that section here, and you could paint in that section. You could do a red into a copper, back into a dark, and then you could do like you could have different levels of colour all the way through it, so that when she wore it down, and once you do a dark root, it'll grow out well, and then when she wears that down, all this bit will kick, and it'll have all those different colours. And then if you want, you can do what's left behind there. You can take that down, and what can you do? You can do a little back comb weave there, yeah, and you can put some lights up there, and you can stick that in beside it. But to remember that if you overdo too much, that the thing that makes this work is the darkness around it. It's always the darkness around something that makes something pop. So if you overdo, if you try to put too much colour in, you lose the shape. You know what I'm saying? So you end up with highlights here and highlights here and highlights there, and you lose the shape. Where if you kept that dark, and you kept the hairline dark, and you kept that side dark, then when you do that bit in the middle, it will just pop at you like three-dimensional, you know? But the key to it is to use different colours with your colours, okay? To use different colours, and to think about the shape. So you think about, so you think about the diamonds with that, you know? You think about the diamonds, you know? You think about the diamonds. Do you know what else is you have me here. Do you know what else is amazing on the side of hair like that? Like, it's absolutely amazing. Is like a bit. It's like a bit like a half moon. Okay, like a half moon that comes out. This is particularly nice with graduated bobs, with beveled haircuts, with soft round haircuts. I could be on for days here. Am I blowing your minds? Am I okay? Are you all okay? I haven't lost anyone here, have I? Have I lost anyone? Are you're loving this tonight? Okay, it's a great name, TJT, Tracy Jane Thomas, TJT. I love it. Great name. Yes, if they moved our parting about a specific haircut like that, like somebody who's getting this type of colour moves their hair about because they want to show it off. So they'll end up doing something like this and pulling it across there, and they'll have a big chunky bit going through there, and then another day they'll wear it back down there like that. They're the type of client that gets stuff like this done wants to be able to move. Yeah, a half moon. So will we just do a quick half moon as we're here? This is like the greatest hits tonight, isn't it? Half moon. I'm gonna dedicate the half moon to a colourist from Mahogany, okay? His name is Mr. Mark Creed, okay? Mr. Mark Creed, if he's watching this or if he's on, Mark, love you. And I always think of you for these kind of things, Mr. Mark Creed. It's nice to give a shout out to people, you know what I mean? Oh, Matic, yeah. But Mr. Mark Creed used to do versions of these, Lucy, like you want to see them. He was unbelievable. So I tried to get a curve into Mark, so Mark would turn ever so. So you've got to imagine that this is on a haircut that's got a little bit of a roundness to it, or a little bit. You will see Lucian's bobs where they're sort of you know, where they're sort of beveled or they have a little curve, that this type of, once there's a curve in it, then you can start to curve your shapes. Great question during the week from Michelle, like, how do you know, when to do a pyramid, or when to do a square, or when to do a diamond, or, when to do a box. And it's an awful lot really based around the haircut. Do you know what I mean? Really, really based around the haircut and what you want to do. But once you practice these stuff, I like to put a full Jaffa cake in my mouth, Liz. Who else likes to put I like to put a full Jaffa cake in my mouth. I do like to bite little bits of it, but if there's nobody around and I'm in the kitchen on my own, I'll eat a full one quickly. Yeah, because I'm greedy like that. Do you know what I mean? As you can tell from my belly. Well, okay, so little turn. So a little curve again. You don't want it in the forehead. And then a big old C-section. See this? Look, big old C-section like that. So it has that kind of slightly curve to it. Has that slight curve to it. See the C shape? And then what you do the same thing. You take the first slice, say do that, dark root 9-7. Next slice, 7-4. Next slice, 6-6-4-5. Next slice, 7-7. And then you'll put it down and you'll have that curve of red, copper, gold all blended in. And you can do those all the way around the head below, and they just give you a beautiful, beautiful shape. And they're particularly lovely with soft round graduations. It's brilliant to know how to... Colours look amazing with different haircuts. So for curved haircuts and graduated haircuts, I like to do C-sections, C-curvature slices, half moon. See these type of sections here. So I'm leaving that bit dark. Do a face frame here, and then do C-curvature slices all the way around the head. That gives you that kind of thing. And, you can eat around the edges and then leave the chocolate. That's such a tease, Kirsty, that one. I have to bite into the... Once I taste the orange, though, like you turn into a cannibal, don't you? Once you taste the orange in the Jaffa cake, you're going... And you eat it, I'd be sticking the wrong bowl and the wrong brush for sure. What you do is you get a little piece of paper. And you write 7, 7, 5, okay? And then you get that piece of paper and you stick it on the bowl, okay? And then the other bowl, say you write 6, 7, 4. You rip that, you put a little bit of colour and you stick it on the bowl. And then and clients will actually love it, because you go, look at the amount of colour you're getting, 4 or 5 different colours in each section. You know what I mean? So you can do that. You know what I mean? You can do that. There's pineapple Jaffa cakes. I've never had one of them, Tracy. TJT, I've never had one of them. I don't know if they, like, the orange is so zingy. That way. It's just so zingy. So C curvature slices are lovely, but the diamond section is really a really beautiful one. But back to the back comb weaves. So that's for your average 17-year-old who does not want to melt in her hair afterwards, doesn't want to colour, just wants it to blend in and wants to have a soft, natural balayaged effect. The back comb weave is the one, okay? And somebody else can do it for you if you can't do it yourself. If not you, then who? If not you, then who? Okay? And for everyone in lockdown right now, or worried about lockdown, or is having problems, like I've had this week, the thing to remember is... Any questions before we go? There's some streets and kids. Just... I'm going to push this back. I'm just putting down the Jennifer Anderson. So that's the Jennifer Anderson look. Don't ever think you can create that with a weave, guys, okay? You've got to put in a little section. Okay? You can change somebody's whole look with that one highlight, okay? You can change somebody's whole structure and their whole look with that one highlight. And you can do a full head of weaves all over and it'll look exactly the same. It'll look exactly the same. and in 2 weeks she'll have roots, okay? So it's always about where you put things, why you put them, the effect they have on the hair, the effect they have on the face shape. You know, it's always about these type of things. You can do one highlight like that and it can literally change the world, like Jennifer Anderson's did back in the 80s. You know, it can literally change that. It's all you see. You don't think about the rest of her hair being dark. You don't think, you could do that one there, and you could, so even if people are going dark, it's good to keep them a little bit light around their face and stuff like that. You made me desperate to be in work. I've struggled mentally for the last few weeks. Okay, well, yeah, this, you know, thoughts are not, all I'll say, because I've had a battle, you know, I've had a battle with reality and with myself is you know, when you dream, okay, when you dream and you have the mentalist dreams, you know, you wake up and you've been like kidnapped by aliens and you've been brought to like planet Mars and you've been like, you know, or, you know, you're being chased by the cops and you're like, you know, because you murdered somebody or you killed somebody, and you wake up and you go, oh my God, that dream, oh my God, that dream. You know, that dream. This is first taking Andrew to the McDonald's. Is that, you know, when you wake up, you don't say to yourself, those dreams are true, do you? You don't. You say to yourself, Jesus, those dreams were mental last night. Do you know what I mean? And you wake up and you let them go. You know, well, your thoughts are very much the same. Okay, so in your mind, you things that will happen in your mind are catastrophic, but they are just thoughts. Thoughts are not facts. Thoughts are not facts. They're just thoughts, okay? They are not facts. So this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and it won't. It's just, you know, vivid dreams, Angela, is just your body releasing pent up emotion. That's all it is. That's all it is. But it's to remember that the drama is in your head, but it's not in reality. It's not actually facts. And if you look around, we're really quite supported. Like the governments are doing, we're really quite supported. You know that quite. We're doing. Love you all. I'm going to bed. I'll watch back. Bailey, talk to you later, babes. Talk to you later. You know. Like people will be thinking, will I lose my job? Could I lose my business? What could happen? And you catastrophize the whole thing. But it's not. It's not a fact. It's not real, okay? It's not real. They're just, and people have this belief that there's this inner voice telling you some cryptic stuff that it's going to happen. But trust me, nobody in the whole world, not in the whole world, said we'd be wearing masks in February. Not one psychic, not one seer, nobody, okay? Nobody, okay? Nobody, okay? That it's just, you know, had a drama. That's quite okay. That's no problem, Emma. We have them all the time. Just don't get hooked up in the drama. Try to step back and just don't get hooked up in the drama. You know. Yeah, but yeah, I know about your president. He makes me laugh every day. But again, you don't have to assign yourself to that. You have to protect your self-care. You have to protect your mind. You know. How are you though? I'm great, Angela. I'm really great. Like as I said, I had a difficult few days with this. And that literally I had to screw off my head and go, oh, my brain's thinking about this today. My brain's thinking, oh, that I could lose my business, that this could happen and that could happen and that somebody else, and this happens all the time when you're a salon owner, because people approach your staff or you hear this and stuff, and you get it, you know, so you literally have to screw off your head and sort of say to yourself, oh, this is me thinking about these things again, but they're not actually true. You know, they're not actually true, and try to avoid drama. Hiya, Michael. There's Michael Hassan here, one of the most amazing hairdressers from LA, and his salon's been closed for quite a while. He's back working. Michael, welcome to Sunday Service, and you know I'm a huge fan. He's like direct lineage from Sassoon, does some beautiful haircuts. Michael, thanks for being you. We love you. We love you. You know, and just remember that, you know. You wouldn't believe your dreams, so don't believe that everything your brain tells you. And in general, what happens in reality, it's great to see you, Michael. In general, what happens in reality is a lot less dangerous or a lot less threatening than what happens in your head. In your head, you can be kidnapped by aliens and be brought to Mars and your whole world's over and this is going to happen. But what actually happens is never that bad, you know. And usually if you lean into what's happening, you'll usually be okay. So just to remember over the next couple of weeks, if stuff happens and if things get locked down, your thoughts are not facts, okay? They are just thoughts. And just like your dreams, you'll wake up and let them go. Let them go. Sort of learn to be the silent witness, as they say. As my wife would say, who's a proper Buddhist, she would say you should always be the silent witness to your thoughts. You shouldn't get hooked up in them because they become right here. They're like, the salon's going to close, everybody's going to leave, you're going to have nothing, you're going to be on the street. And you have to go, okay, just pull this voice back. Okay, so you have to go, okay, so this is this voice telling me that I'm going to lose my business, I'm going to lose my job. It's not actually true, you know, it's not actually real. You know, it's not actually real. And I'm thinking about solutions that I can pay my rent for November. And then this gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And it actually disappears. Okay, it actually disappears. Okay, because that's just a threat response inside your brain trying to protect you. And human beings are the only creatures on the whole planet that are able to do this. You know, every other creature just chills out. If there's a deer standing there and he's just chilling out eating. If a lion comes up behind him, he's gone. Okay, the minute he sees the lion, he's gone. And the minute that lion's gone, he's back eating the grass like nothing happened. Where humans, we'll be thinking about the lion being behind us for 10 years, okay? For 10 years. You can't shut it up. It's like a radio, Christina. You just have to learn to understand that it's just those voices will never leave your head, ever. You just have to learn to not really, it's like a radio station. You don't really listen to them, you know? You don't really, or you go, there's that voice again. There's that voice again. You know, so you want a song, do you? It's like I haven't set anything up. It's too late. It's too late anyway. Look, it's 6:30. It's 27. So I promise I'll give you a song. I might even come on during the week and give you a song because I'm here anyway. You know what I mean? I'm here anyway. So I'll come on during the week and I'll do a couple of songs. How does that sound? You know, but just to be aware it's your threat system and the humans have to, like a deer will just go back to eating the grass, he'll forget it ever happened. But humans will think about it again and again and they'll activate and then they won't go into the grass again in case the lion gets them, you know what I mean? But that actual voice, if you're able to tune it and you're able to sort of picture positive things that can happen from yesterday and bring them into tomorrow, you can control that voice pretty well. You know, you can get on top of it, but be aware that this thing right in front of your head is not you. You just need to just put it down and just go, okay, so this is this voice talking to me here. Yeah, great. I'm going to be going off to do my click and collect and I'm going to pay the rent. Okay, I'm going to pay the rent and I'm going to get through it and I'll be fine and I'll be open back up and everything will be grand. And that voice will disappear, okay? That voice will disappear, okay? It'll just become a whisper in the back of your head. Your thoughts are not facts, okay? Your thoughts are not facts. Just like your dreams, they're not facts, okay? So that just to remember that, okay, this week. Change your watch time. It's 7:40. Yeah, it is. Like, I don't know what time it is. I haven't changed my watch, have I? I don't know what time it is. Love you too, Liz. Love you too. Love you guys. Love you all. I think I'll come on during the week. So don't forget tomorrow night we have Sinead on, who works in a voice line. So she's going to give you brilliant tips about how to deal with brassiness in hair. She's going to give you brilliant tips about high lift blondes and about the Colour Fresh masks. And it's her first time on, so give her a nice welcome. You know, need to put the blanket on, you know, over a poison. Yeah, I got told to put the blanket over the poison part. Yeah. Well, just listen to me in your head going, yeah. Don't listen to them, you know. Don't listen, he's right there, okay? Don't just take a step back and go, oh, there you are. Okay, great. I'm going to be here doing stuff to fix things, and you can just keep going there. Yeah, you can just keep going there, okay? Thoughts are not facts, okay? Just like dreams. You know, and you'll never get rid of them. You'll have days where your thoughts will absolutely annihilate you. Do you know what I mean? Nick Conn is on tomorrow as well. Nick Conn's on Insta. Nick, put up what time you're on and make sure to let them know on the page. You don't want to miss the con. You know, you don't want to miss the con. Okay, so it was really interesting one tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want me to go back over something. Oh, Sinead Wella is on the post. Here she is, Sinead. So excited. Give Sinead a hello to the community, Sinead. So Sinead is on tomorrow. How to deal with brassiness, high lift blondes, colour fresh masks. It's her debut in the community. Charlie, you keep well. How's that part of yours? I hope you're well. And guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Is my watch, what time? I don't know what time it is now. Has any of these things been changed? You know, so all my love to you guys. I hope I helped. Think about back home weaves. Think about that classic client who comes in. Great to see you, Sinead. Think about that classic client. Love from South Africa, Charlene. Great question. Say goodbye to Nicole, who's wearing her Jennifer Anderson. So you can see this one highlight will change her whole look. And you can spend your whole hour doing 2 hours doing highlights and she won't notice anything, okay? She won't notice anything because, guys, we are in the results game, okay? Hard work and effort doesn't matter to a client, okay? Doesn't matter to a client. Results matter to a client, okay? Give her a clap. Results matter to a client, okay? You are in the results game. And if you can give a client a result, you can charge her your worth, okay? You can charge her your worth and she'll have no problem paying it. But if you spend 3.5 hours making her hair look like it did the last time and it does nothing for her, well, you know, sorry. You're not in the hard work and endeavour game. You're in the results game, okay? Because clients will just get up and they'll leave and go to somebody else, okay? They will get up and leave and go to somebody else. You are in the results game. So fine-tune your technique. Practice the back comb weaves. See curvature shapes. Get stuck in. Post on the page when you do them. Show them. Share the love. Yes. You were all fabulous. I love you all. You all got a fright thinking I was taking you off the page. I said I was just getting rid of dormant accounts. You get these accounts where people deactivate their accounts and they're on the page and they clog up the page, these deactivated accounts. So every now and again I have to clear them. That's all it is, okay? I would never take somebody off the page for just watching. But do remember to like, comment, share and pay it forward, okay? Every artist that drops a picture on the page deserves a like. Every artist, because it takes a lot of courage to do it, okay? Every artist, okay? Every artist. So to just look at their work and not to put a like in it, it's really not very giving. And it's not very, because imagine it was you, imagine it was your picture that you were posting, you know? Okay, so please like, share, comment, post. It feels good. You'll make somebody's day. You know, you will make somebody's day. Okay, so just like and comment. Instead of strolling, just stop and like. You're a part of a community. And just like helping somebody across the road, isn't it nice to be nice? Just like their pictures. Tell them well done. You'll make their day. You'll give them a bit of confidence. Isn't it a beautiful thing? Okay, it's a beautiful thing. It's what community is all about, okay? It's what it's all about here. Okay, it's what it's all about. You've got to get your heart into it, okay? We're all empathetic hairdressers. We're all doing our best. When somebody posts a picture, you know, just give them a like, okay? Just pay it forward. Just, you know, it's so amazing, you know what I mean? And if somebody teaches you something, bow down and wash their feet, because, you know, I spent years sweating it in a toilet with nobody to teach me. Downstairs praying it wouldn't be too light, praying it wouldn't be too dark, praying she'd like it. Nobody to help me, nowhere, with nothing. And that's half the reason the community is here. I don't want people to have to go through what I went through, okay? So isn't it amazing that you get somebody to show you the way? You get to stand on the shoulder of absolute geniuses and the bravest of bravest people. So give them a like, give them a comment, pay it forward, post, share. It's the smallest thing, but you're helping somebody else, okay? Okay, I'm that voice in your head, Charlie, haven't I? Okay, it's the smallest thing. Just give them some like, give them a win. They deserve it, okay? All my love to you. I'll come on during the week and I'll do a couple of songs with you, because there's been a few requests. There's been Kid Creole and the Coconuts. There's been Madonna. Can I come wash your feet? Yeah, only if I wash them first, Martha. You know, Kid Creole. There's quite a few actually there. There's quite a few there. So thanks for everybody who came on tonight. I hope that I was able to impart a little bit of knowledge onto you. It's so wonderful when somebody just shows us something, isn't it? Just amazing. Okay. Support your artists. So Elvis, you're right. You're Elvis. I just can't help believing, Melinda. I just can't. Right, said Fred. Yeah, there's quite a few there, you know. Okay, I'll be on during the week for an L song, you know, and a bit of crack. Yeah, a bit of crack, as we say in Ireland. Crack as kill. Love you all. You're all absolutely amazing. Share. Pay it forward. Comment. Be nice. Okay? You just could make somebody else's day. That smallest thing. Okay? All my love, guys. Namaste. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you during the week. Bye.